We are back. Sam Seder on the Majority Report on the phone. It's a pleasure to welcome to the program Associate Professor of Political Science and Africana Studies at Johns Hopkins University and the Center for Emerging Media Scholar in Residence. Also, author of Knocking the Hustle. Pleasure to welcome back to the program Lester Spence. Lester, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So let's start with as a point of departure on this fairly recently released platform under the I guess the auspices of Black Lives Matter, and it's a pretty in-depth document and very specific. It has 6 major, I guess, components to it. And I was struck. Well, I mean, first, give me your impressions of it. I mean, and I should say, one thing that struck me was it feels like that Black Lives Matter has grown in its scope in terms of what it's addressing.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. So so we knew when we know that police violence is, first of all, police violence is far more than killings, right? They're backed by policies, right? And we know that those violent policies are concentrated not just in Black neighborhoods, but tend to be concentrated in poor urban Black neighborhoods and neighborhoods filled with people of color in general. And then those neighborhoods are also beset upon by a number of other problematic policies, whether it's education and zero tolerance and increased privatization in schools, whether it's the fact that the cities that these neighborhoods are in have problematic development policies, and what people were critiquing Black Lives Matter activists for was focusing primarily on the killings, and then to a certain extent primarily on the police, without taking a wider approach, understanding that the police is just kind of part of the neoliberal turn. And what they try to do in this policy document is provide policies for a number of different areas that can help spur local activists to kind of organize around. Because they didn't just present, issue areas. They presented policies. In some cases, they actually presented legislative examples. They talked about how to get these policies implemented, whether it's a matter of legislation or executive order. A lot of thought was put into this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really it's both a radical document, but also an incredibly I guess pragmatic one in terms of, or I should say, a practical one in that there is, there's recipes here. This is not is not just simply a list of demands. This is a roadmap. And I mean, so when we hear of, for instance, another killing this weekend in Tulsa, and I don't know if you've seen the video of Terrence Crutcher being shot and killed. No,
I don't watch that video.
We can't know exactly what's going on in the minds of these police officers or why, but are these, so in the context of a document like this, do we perceive, because it seems to me that this time last year there was a sense of like, look, there's an ongoing emergency where literally this is not metaphorical in any way. This is literally we have unarmed Black people being shot on such a regular basis. That something needs to be done here. This is obviously more expansive, but in that context, do we see these shootings as being the tip of the icebergs, or just simply a feature on the icebergs, as it were?
Oh, that's a great question. It's kind of that's a great question. It's kind of complicated. So what I'll say is that it's what we're doing now with police killings. And it's important to note that we actually don't know. If We can go back now a few years to compare this number to what happened a few years ago. But we really don't know because police departments don't actually keep data, standardized data, on how many people that actually die in their hands. So we actually don't know longitudinally, whether we're looking at something that's really, really high compared to previous years, like 2000, for example, or whether it's something really low, first of all. But what we do know is that police have basically become, particularly in metropolitan areas, police have fulfilled one of two roles increasingly, particularly since the 70s. One is they've increasingly served as agents of social control in cities like Baltimore and to a certain extent cities like New York. And then two, they've served as revenue enhancers, right? Revenue generators, like in cities like small towns like Ferguson and elsewhere. And what this incident and others like it have done is put the lens on policing whereby we can actually look at these other things and connect them and say that this is part of the same general program.
I mean, hey folks, Sam Seder here. I just got back from a company-wide meeting. Accounting is really coming down on me hard. We need to get to 100,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So please enjoy this channel. Subscribe right down there.